Welcome to the Workbench. I'm Doug. Have you ever been sewing along on your machine and all of a sudden your upper thread's disappeared? You don't see it? You look up here, you still see thread? Maybe you turn your hand wheel and it's a little stiff to turn. It could be that when you started, you didn't have your take-up lever in its highest position. Then when you started sewing, the thread pulled out and got wrapped up. Sometimes while you're sewing along at a higher speed, if your thread were to break, it could get wrapped up into the take-up lever. So I'm going to show you how easy it is for you to remove the thread that may be wrapped up in your take-up lever. Okay? Anytime you go to remove any type of covers from your machine, it's important that you turn the power switch off, just so you don't brush against some of the electronics with your screwdriver. Okay, and on our Baby Lock Zest that we're showing today, we have a cover that goes over our locking screw. So each machine's going to be a little bit different. You know, some of you may not have a cover, but you would have to remove this faceplate. Some of the other Baby Lock machines, instead of the screw coming in from this side, maybe it's a screw coming in from the back that you have to remove. Okay, so take the screw away. Okay, and you notice my screwdriver held onto this because the tip of my screwdriver is magnetized. If you ever had a pretty strong magnet somewhere in your house, if you just brush this against that magnet several times, it would magnetize that tip for you. Okay, and then we're just gonna gently remove this faceplate. Okay, and do we see a culprit up here? Oh yeah. So I'm not sure, can you see the thread, blue thread that's wrapped around? So that's been wrapped around a little bit tight. So in order to remove it, you have to think a little bit. Okay, while the machine was running, the hand wheel was rotating towards you from the top. So that's how it got wrapped up. So now to remove the thread, we want to look to see if we can find the tail of the thread. Okay, which I've located right here. And with pulling on that slightly, what I want to do is rotate the hand wheel in the opposite direction. And as I do, it will peel away from there. So you have to kind of move it a little bit. But you see how now it's getting longer and longer? So once at that point, I can let go with my tweezers and pull with my fingers. But always remember to go in the opposite direction. Yeah, that's a little bit of thread that got wrapped up in there for sure. May take a few revolutions, especially if you were running the machine at high speed when it did get wrapped up and break. There's a lot of thread in there. And then finally, voila. When I was starting to pull, I seen some black oil on this thread. So sometimes when that thread gets wrapped around that take-up lever area, it can draw lubrication away from that. So if you ever had the faceplate off, you had to remove thread in the order that I just showed you, it's also a good idea to come back with a couple drops of oil. There's a pilot hole here that you can add just one drop of oil. Okay, after you do, you can go ahead and rotate your hand wheel a few turns. Just kind of work that oil within that shaft. Okay, and then with the take-up lever at its highest position, then we can reattach the faceplate. Okay, on the Zest machine, okay, we have a little block here for the LED light that has to be positioned right behind this metal plate, top side of the thread guide. Okay, so I'm going to stand up so I can get a good view coming down into that. Okay, and basically you just want to position it now so that the covers, not only on top, but also on the back side, is nice and smooth. Once you get all lined up, then you can add the Phillips screw. And this one goes into plastic, so it's a good idea to turn counterclockwise until you hear a little snap and you feel a little pop, and then go clockwise to ensure that you're going in the original threaded path. Then just add your screw cover. And now that you have that all cleaned out and lubricated, you're ready to get back at creating some more of your nice projects. Now that you know, get out and sew.